Emergency services have been run off their feet dealing with flash flooding on the south coast. So far, there have been 800 calls for help since yesterday's torrential downpour. There were more evacuations and rescues as the rain moved south. The storms triggered flood warnings for the Bega and Maruya rivers. Parts of the south coast will now be eligible for natural disaster funding. Jane Margetts reports on the big clean-up in the Illawarra.
The floodwater receded as quickly as it rose. Areas that were well underwater are beginning to dry out, and the extent of the clean-up is sinking in.
I got quite emotional, and we just got to do it, don't we?
Luckily, the Coughlan's weren't home when the water burst through their back fence.
Some of the garden furniture was over in the creek.
It's a story that's repeated in scores of homes across the Illawarra.
We went into these drawers here, it's in the piano, in the vacuum cleaner, in the dryer.
The contents of houses laid out to dry, precious belongings salvaged.
Oh, it's very disappointing. There's a lot of stuff that has been lost and we can never get back.
The Illawarra received its heaviest rainfall in more than 20 years. The wet weather has now moved out to sea, a small blessing for those who are desperately trying to dry out. The floodwater tore up roads and footpaths and brought down walls. Some residents were forced to grab what they could and get out.
It just came out of nowhere. It just came in and it was filling the whole ground within a minute, it felt like, and it just rose.
These units were inundated when a nearby sewer overflowed. They're now uninhabitable.
It was like a burst dam. They were dam burst, and it was coming down here that fast that you couldn't stand up.
Michael Fletcher saved his wife from drowning. Now, aged in their 80s, they have to find a new home. Jane Margetts, ABC News, in the Illawarra.